Morning students, I am Rishabh working as an assistant professor in ABS Engineering College. So today we'll discuss the topic of discussion is Lagrange's theorem. So before starting the topic, just better understanding the topic, you can just understand the topic is order of a group. Before understanding the topic, these are the basic terms. Let me discuss one by one. What is the actual meaning of the Lagrange's theorem? We will discuss in later. So here, order of a group. What is the actual meaning of order of a group? I hope you know about the concept of the group. Group, whenever we have a single statement that is a group or not, we will satisfy. There are four conditions. If the condition will be satisfied, then you can say a statement or a example that is a group. What are the condition? First one is you can say closure that is exist or not. Second, that is the associative law. Third, identity of an element, and the last one is inverse exist. So these are the four conditions. If any statement or any example that will be satisfied these four conditions, then you can say the example or a statement that is a group. So here we discuss the concept of order of a group. So order of a group, what is the actual meaning of order of a group? A simple term, number of elements in a group is called order of a group. So you can say that is can be represented by O of G. For example, here I will take an example. Example is, for example, A is a set. It contains 0, 1, 2, 4. So there are four elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what is the order of this set is, or you can say this group is 4. So this is the, you can say, first one is it will satisfy the group. How you can say that is a group? Because there are four conditions. If these four conditions will be satisfied according to this set, then you can say that is a group. If it is a group, then you can say find out the order of a group. Order of a group, simply say the total number of elements in a group, that is called order of a group. So here the order of a group is 4. You can take any example and you will find out the order of a group. In simple term, the number of element that will be say that is a, you can say, group. So the next point we'll discuss for the Lagrange's theorem. These are the basic terms we must to understand before going to start the Lagrange's theorem. So the second term will come coset. Coset, let H, what is H? H be a subgroup of a group G, may be used to decompose the set of G into disjoint equal size pieces called the cosets. What is mean? First one, let us say G is a group and we can discover a subgroup that can be represented by H. Clear? So is it okay to all of you? Very good. So subgroup is what? That is a subgroup of a that will be generated by the group. Clear? For example, group contains the 4 element. It may be subgroup contains 4 element, 3 element, 2 elements or 1 element. Because that is a subgroup, you can say H is a subset of G. Clear? So that is the meaning of H be a subgroup of a group. G may be used to decompose. May be used to decompose means that can be decomposed the set of G into disjoint equal size pieces called the coset. I will take the example, then you can better understand what I am saying right now. So that is the meaning of the coset. Now we'll discover the point is, let A is a element that belongs to G. Then the set A star H, H belongs to capital H, is called left coset. There are two terms will come, left coset or right coset. Here we discuss the topic is left coset. Left coset that is generated by A and H, and it will be denoted by AH. Clear? So that is a left coset. Just not moving anywhere, you just understand the concept is left coset that can be represented by AH. Clear? Next is right coset. Right coset can be represented by H of A, that is equal to H into A. H belongs to capital H, is called right coset. Clear? So there are two terms that will be discovered in the coset, left coset and right coset. Clear? And that can be represented by H of A. So there are two terms. Now the point will come, identity. If E be the identity, element of G, then E is belongs to H, because that is a element. Clear? So that is a element that will be belongs to capital H, and H of E is equal to H, because that is the multiplication operation that will be applied identity with H, that will become H. You can say E H also will discover H, and H E will discover capital H. So here H itself is right coset as well as left coset. Clear? So hope you understand the concept, what is the meaning of right as well as left coset in the coset. So now we can take the example. Example is G. For example, G is -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. That will be say the set of integers. So let capital H be a subgroup of G, multiplying each element of G by 3. So here we'll discover, we can just multiply G by 3, and the H will come from the G, that is, you can just multiplying all the numbers, -3 multiply 3, that is -3, -9, -2 into 3, you can say -6, -1 into 3, -3, 0 into 3, 0, 1 into 3, 3, 6, 9 and so on. That is the H. Here you can apply H plus 1, that is the right coset. Clear? You can say 1 plus H or H plus 1. Right coset is what? H plus 1, that will be say you can add one value in every element. -9 plus 1, you can say -8, -6 plus 1, -5, -3 plus 1, -2, 0 plus 1, 1, 4, 6 plus 1, 7, 9 plus 1, 10. So here you can just understand what I am saying. H plus 1 is a right coset because the element can be represented in the rightmost side. So similarly we can discover with the help of this H plus 2. Next element 2 is belongs to capital H. So here 1 is belongs to capital H. Clear? So now we will find out the h plus 2 with the help of h. So you can just add in every element by 2, that is minus 7 minus 6 plus 2, that is 4, minus 1, 2, 5, 8, 11 and so on. Clear? Again you can find out 3 belongs to h and you can find out the h plus 3. So here h plus 3, you just simply add 3 in this set h. So minus 6 minus 3, 0, 6, 9 and so on. Clear? So you can see that this one h plus 3 is equal to the h. You can just clear the concept is minus 6 minus 3, 0, 6, 9, all these value that will be covered in h. Clear? So here you can find out the 0 also. 0 is belongs to capital H. So h plus 0 is equal to the minus 9 minus 6 minus 3, 0, 3, 6, 9. So you can see that here that is also a h. So we can see that the you can say h plus 1 and h plus 2, these are the three distinct value, because in a right coset or you can say left coset, that is the property right coset h plus 1 and h plus 2 are all distinct. What is the meaning of distinct? That is have no element common. Clear? So you can see that there exists a disjoint right coset G is equal to h union h plus 1 union of h plus 2. So it is the result in the right coset. You can say right all the distinct right coset that will be you can say by joining the all the element that will be covered is you can say result in the form of G. Clear? So that is the you can say these are the terms before Lagrange's theorem we must to understand the concept of the Lagrange's theorem. Now the main point or main concept is we can start Lagrange's theorem. So what it say? Lagrange's theorem. First we understand the statement, what the statement say by this theorem. The statement is the order of, we have to understand first is the order of every subgroup of a finite group is a divisor of the order of the group. Means the order of every subgroup is what? Subgroup that will be covered by the group. So order of every subgroup, we understand the concept of the order of the group, that is the number of elements in a group, that is you can say order of the group. So order of every subgroup of a finite group is divisor of the order of the group. So that is a statement and we have to prove this statement. So we can take some points. Let H be a subgroup of finite group G. G is what? That is a group. H is what? That is a subgroup. So such that order of subgroup is equal to the M and order of group is equal to the N. we can assume that order of group is n and order of subgroup is m, such that m is less than n, because m is the order of subgroup and subgroup is the subset of group. So you can say m is less than n. Clear? So we know that we have proved it. G is equal to the U. G belongs to capital H, G of H. What is mean? That is the meaning. G is equal to H union of H plus 1 union of H plus 2. We have seen that in the previous example of the cosets. Clear? So that will be say every coset G is belongs to group, that is the element is belongs to the group, and every element of the union that will be covered in the form of G. Clear? So since you can see that, you just write the statement, since all the left cosets of H are not different, so let H have only k different cosets. We don't know how many cosets, that is the disjoints. So we can take the example k different cosets, because we are not proving any example, we are proving the theorem. So we can assume the different coset in terms of variable. Clear? So let us take H have only k different cosets. So you can say G1H, G2H. G is what? That is an element, it belongs to the group. G1 is the first element that is belongs to the group with H, that is the left coset. Left coset, that will be say left coset of first, for first element, left coset of second element, and so on. K different coset, you can say GKH. These are the cosets, different coset. So you can say G is equal to G1H union G2H union and so on union GKH. That is the group. Clear? So now we'll cover next point. Therefore all these left cosets are pairwise disjoint. Clear? So order of G is equal to the order of G1H plus order of G2H plus so on order of GKH. Clear? Again, order of GH is what? Order of H. Simple. Order of GH, that is the first element, is belongs to the group, and you can take the example order of GH is always equal to the order of GH. For every element of G is belongs to capital G. So you can say that you can just substitute the value of this one. Order of G1H is equal to the order of H. Same here, order of G2H is equal to the order of H, because every G is belongs to the capital G. So that is equal to order of H and so on. How many times? Order of H k times. Clear? So you can say that order of G, we can assume that in the starting order of G is equal to the n, and order of H is m plus m up to k times. Clear? So you can just simplify the term m of k, and you can say k is equal to the m by n. What is the m? Sorry, n by m. Clear? What is n? Order of G, and what is m? Order of H. So you can say that order of subgroup of a finite group is divisor of the order of the group. Clear? So that is the your theorem simple theorem, we have to prove it, hence proved. And one is the remarks. You can just remember always the converse of Lagrange's theorem is not always true. That is the remarks. You just remember the term, remember the statement. Clear? So these are the terms we have to understand. These are the some terms we just know the concept of the Lagrange's theorem, and that is the theorem we have to prove it with the help of cosets as well as order of the group. So thank you. Thanks for watching my video.